Hey folks, I want to do a quick video and kind of show you the progress I've got going. I've been really busy. I haven't had time to do any videos. I've been under the gun with work and I'm running behind on everything as usual. This last part of last year was extremely busy. To give you an idea, I had one day off during December, and that was Christmas Day, and was working 10-hour shifts other than that. And so it's hard to get a lot of stuff done when you work that many hours and you live by yourself and you have all the other stuff you have to get done. But I've got a lot accomplished since last fall, the last video that I put up, but I haven't started the greenhouse up at all. I've like I said, been behind on some stuff, and I've went back and forth on whether I was going to continue the aquaponics at all, and the hydroponics as well. And last season, toward the end of the season, I forgot to add water a couple of times, and the plants got really stressed. I had a lot of them die off, and some other issues that come up with the aquaponics, and it's with my schedule, it's just not suiting me very well. And the raised bed gardens are a little more forgiving in that light, so I've been focusing more on that. So in doing so, I wanted to I've been thinking about trying to get everything set up to where it's a little more easy and more manageable. And so what I did was I've built a big fence around the garden area, and I've expanded and put a couple of more beds in, but I've also kind of planning more for the future and for next season as well. So what I've done is I've enclosed, fenced around the garden area, 50-foot square. I put some really tall corner posts up to facilitate some lighting that I'm going to put up, because I'm apt to having to switch up and work nights, days, and different schedules, and it makes it a little easier if you got everything set up to where you can do what you need when you have the time to do it. So that's my thinking behind that. But anyway, this is kind of just a quick overview. This place is a mess. I haven't been able to mow much. We've had 10 inches of rain since Valentine's Day, and so everything's really grown up. Weeds are bad and everything else, but just kind of wanted to show you the progress. I plan on coming in and doing some archways over the top of these gates to make them a little more decorative, and I want to do a brick path through the entire garden here and have the beds around it. I'm going to redo these beds and close the gaps up between them. When I set these things up, I didn't want to crowd them right together because I've got so much room available, but the problem is that's more weeding and mowing and stuff you've got to do around them. So my thought is, and watching some of your other videos from some of you guys, if you put these things a little closer together, you don't have that problem to tend to. Plus, you're going to lose a little bit of water when you're watering in the heat of the summer out to the surrounding areas, and if you don't have as many surrounding areas, then it's going to be more focused on the plants as well. But as you can see, the patch of greens that I've got going over here, man, they've done really good. I just went in, that's where I had my potatoes right there last year, so I wanted to rotate and do something a little different. I've got a lot of different radishes and arugula, greens of different type, and broccoli going in these beds, some onions. The peas that I've planted back there behind the water tank is they haven't really come up yet. I've got a lot of weeds in there I've got to get out, and hopefully they'll start sprouting before long. If not, I may have to replant them. I've got some corn planted in this bed here, and I've got a bunch of strawberries back there. I think 18 plants I put in, some basil. I've got some raspberries and blackberries that I want to try. I'm not sure they're going to do real well in this climate, but I'm going to try them anyway. And then I've got some red Pontiac potatoes, and then I've got another bed over here that's got tomatoes and peppers, a lot of squash planted. I've planted some amaranth in the back there. That's something I've been excited to try growing. I'm hoping to be able to feed that to the chickens, and they say it's really good to eat and really nutritious, and if I remember right, it's a complete source of protein as well. One of the other problems that I've had since last year is I've lost every one of my chickens that I had. I had some different varmints and critters coming up here. I've had coyotes get a few of them, but I had an issue with skunks. They were digging in under this coop and killing them, and I finally caught one in the process, and so I went through and stapled wire along the bottom of this thing all the way around it, chicken wire, and kind of flattened it out on the ground and put some blocks around to hold it till the grass grows up to it to help protect them. And this is a new batch of them that I got, and I put a little small fence on either side to give them a little area to roam around in here and try to get accustomed to coming outside, and more of a free ranging type thing. And then what I want to do is incorporate maybe next year a fence around this whole garden area to where I can let them roam between the fences in a 10-foot path or so to help keep the pests down, mainly the grasshoppers we have a whole lot of problem with here. But for this year, I think what I'm going to do is do some temporary fencing here in the garden. I think I'm going to come across where these cattle panels are at with some chicken wire, and then back up along the side of that long bed as well, and give them an area to roam around here in the garden and kind of fertilize for next year and help keep the insects down until I can get a chance to do the next fence around it. I have the 5 peach trees that I planted last year, and they have come back and done really well. I've got quite a bit of fruit that have set on these things. Just being the second year, I wasn't expecting just a tremendous amount, but I've got a few that set, and there's another one behind me here. I may wind up having to go back and thin some of them off, but I've really wanted to get the fruit trees growing, and so I kind of took that approach, because these will yield from year to year without having to do just a whole lot of work. You can tell I need to come out here and do some weeding around them and get the mulch on top, but I wanted to get these things planted, and that's what took me kind of away from the greenhouse. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the greenhouse, maybe if I'm even going to start any of that up in it this year, but I've got time to decide, obviously. But I've planted, I think, 4 varieties of apple. I've got a Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Yellow Delicious, and a Gala. I've got a couple of pear tree, and I've got some plum as well. So hopefully next season I can add a few more, and that's something that'll just keep coming back year after year with little to no work, a little pruning and some other stuff. But that's what I've been up to, and just working a lot of hours and trying to get a lot of this stuff done out here. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.